So today we are going to deep dive into food preservation, a method that I have really enjoyed getting to know this year, and that is freeze drying. So in this video, we will learn about what this method is, how it works, I'll show you our machine, and we'll hear about how we plan to use this on our small produce farm here in Saginaw, Michigan. Sir, what are you doing? Okay, so freeze drying is actually a water removal process that the goal of is to extend the shelf life of a particular product. The process actually happens in 3 different stages, but the goal is to turn that water content to ice, to vapor, to get rid of it, so that you preserve the nutritional value, taste, appearance, but still extend that shelf life because you're removing the water content. So what happens is whatever material you choose, the freeze dryer reduces the pressure and adds heat to allow the frozen water in the material to change directly to vapor. Once it's frozen, the water is removed and the remaining product when you pull it out is a very porous structure. I had someone joke about asparagus that we did this past year that it was like styrofoam, and I feel like that's very fitting. It doesn't sound very good because you don't want to say anything tastes like styrofoam, but I would say that has to be the texture of most of the things. So that's the goal of the finished freeze-dried product. But one of the really neat things is that this method of preservation doesn't negatively impact the nutrients. It helps retain the nutrients like your antioxidants and still preserve color, flavor, and structure when compared to maybe dehydration or another food preservation technique that might be altering whether it be the color, the texture, whatever it might be. This truly preserves it in a very whole way that we've been super impressed with. So let me show you our machine. And we'll take a look at that and you'll be able to see what it even looks like. There's multiple sizes. We got a large machine knowing that we would be doing bulk quantities of whatever we harvest, since all of our items on our farm come in bulk quantities, right? We have a lot of something for a little while and then it goes away and we have a lot of something else. So we needed a big machine to be able to compensate for that. So we'll show you the machine and we'll talk a little bit more about that as we go. So another really neat opportunity with the freeze-dried things is you can freeze-dry pretty much anything. You see candy often, but you can also do fruits, veggies, meats, grains, beverages, spices, the whole 9 yards. The options are really endless. And even if you were to freeze-dried meals, like we had mashed potatoes this past Thanksgiving that we froze in big baggies, and when my machine was empty, we loaded it up with that so that you have mashed potato powder, right? You just add water and it's exactly like that wonderful meal you had. So you can truly do anything. And the snacks are good on their own, freeze-dried. Like my son Benny absolutely loves apples and cherry tomatoes and all of that just as a snack to eat. But if you don't want it that way, you can throw it into cooking and it'll rehydrate during the cooking process, or you can just add water and it rehydrates to whatever you might want to use it for. So lots of endless opportunities there between what you can harvest and what you can do with it. But one neat aspect with freeze drying in particular, especially for us, is the shelf life. So there's a direct correlation between the moisture content in food and shelf life. The higher the moisture content, the shorter the shelf life. But in the freeze drying process, 98 to 99% of the moisture in the food is being freeze dried is actually being removed. So actually they say that the freeze dried food has up to a 25-year or more shelf life, which is absolutely mind-blowing. I can't attest to that because we have only had our machine a year, so I can say for sure things last 1 year. But just you'd be hard-pressed to have it last much longer than that because you're excited to use it, especially if they're treats like apples or the cherry tomatoes. Those don't last long in our pantry. So very, very cool to know the option is there all around, that the food will be enjoyed, so it'll be money well spent. So you got to look at our machine and take a look at what we had going on. Right now we're working on a batch of peppers. We had a huge harvest of Carolina Reapers and Ghost peppers at the end of this last season. So we washed them all real well and we threw them onto the smoker, smoked them, and then we froze them in 5-gallon bags until we were able to get to them. So now that we have an open machine, since harvest season is over and we're through our immediate concerns of freeze drying items, we are getting back to these peppers. So what we did is we took the peppers out in the 5-gallon bags and we just put the frozen peppers directly on the trays and into the machine. About 2 days later, I'll give you the specific hour amount. It's still running, so when it's done, I'll add it to this video so that you can see specifically how long this seasoning took, but that's our goal with these peppers. So we've got the Anaheims, banana peppers, Carolina Reapers, and Ghost peppers all in here. We're gonna grind them down, crumble them down in the baggies and sell it as a hot mixed pepper blend. No salt added, but it can be used as a way to spice up a dish or make your own hot honey if you wanted to. You could put it directly into honey and let it marinate, or pretty much anything like that. So it gives you a really good opportunity to enjoy a salt-free seasoning that was made with locally grown produce here at Shoemaker Farms. So very exciting. But we are doing this sorts of stuff all the time. We do local fruit if we have it. The only fruits that we grow here are strawberries and raspberries. But, if there's in-season apples or peaches, those are very good ones that we've done. And then all of the veggies and herbs that you see, we grow directly here on our farm. So right now in stock, we have chives and mint and some apples left, all sorts of really fun things that you can enjoy as is, use to flavor different dishes or rehydrate and use in any way that you see fit. The mint's really good in tea. So anyways, lots of options. I could talk freeze drying all day long, but I would love to open the floor if you have something that you've particularly enjoyed as a freeze-dried product. I'd love to hear it. I'm still learning, so we still have a lot left to do. I had a recommendation on our Facebook page to do the rotisserie chicken, so that's on my list soon. Apparently the freeze-dried chicken rehydrates and is perfect, so we won't be selling that, but I'll definitely be playing around. So I'd love if anyone can share the successes or the troubles that you've had with your freeze dryer, what you've enjoyed freeze dried, and just have this be a collaboration of all of us coming together and sharing all things freeze dried. So I hope that you really enjoyed this video and getting to know about our freeze dryer, a little bit about what the process is and where we hope to take this over the next few years. for another wonderful video, but don't leave yet. We have a few things that we could share. I've got a video here about our latest tackles with the chickens. If you didn't see this yet, because we have a 4-H program coming up at the end of January with these very chickens. So if you're interested in that, if you want to know where the event's going to be hosted, check this out. Take a look and let me know if you'll be there. Thank you for watching.